Good evening. Acton Cemetery Committee meeting for July 10, 2023. Has everybody had a chance to look through the meeting notes from back in April? Any questions, comments, concerns? All right, moving on. Some of the old business that we'll talk about, that was brought up last time. So we did have the town meeting, back in June. I can't remember the date. That was a long process. I've never been to a town meeting before, even in Chapley. It's interesting to see how the town works. So, and the population, the whole 9 yards. So, we got approved for the $3,000 budget, yearly budget, and then we did get approved for a $10,000 additional budget for any kind of bigger expenses that we might have. I know this past fiscal year, we ended up, we had a surplus, in our reserve account, and we used, most of that to take down some of the big trees that we can't take care of on our own. So, the money that $10,000, is for stuff that we cannot handle internally. So, big 200-year-old trees that, need cranes and things like that, and whatever else might be, so. We're gonna be, looking into how we're gonna spend that this year, whether it be trees or some other big project that needs to be taken care of, so. Ken was able to go to the Maple Grove Association meeting back in May. I think it was right after our last meeting, or a few weeks after our last meeting.
It was May 9th.
It's May 9th, okay. I guess they're a little more open, more friendly these days than when I had gone in years past. Did you go to that meeting a long time ago?
Never been to one.
All right, there was a few of us from the Historical Society that went over there, and it was a little weird, but, so we don't do a lot with Maple Grove. They have their own association. They have people that take care of the landscaping throughout the year, but we help with, fixing stones and flags and whatnot, so, and personal, has your dad has he been interred?
Yes.
Okay. The last time I was over there, a couple weeks ago, I don't think he was in there.
Well, the stone just arrived
Okay.
last week.
Okay.
So he was there, but he was
Right.
anonymous.
Hiding in the woods. Okay. So last year, we bought 4 headstones, little granite ones that just sit on the ground. They're not the upright kind of stuff. 2 of them were already made and installed, one for Mary Grant's mom, and somebody else over at, Acton Corner. We discovered where Mary Grant's dad is, when we put in Mary Grant's mom's stone. So we have, Dr. Grant, his stone's getting made right now. We still have 1 more to be made. It's already been paid for. We just gotta give the place a name, to make, and then we could replace out, a temporary, marker that, is 100 years old. So there's more than a few in town that are pretty sad that way.
You don't have any names yet for the other 2?
There's a mother and father in Acton Corner as well. They're missing most of the letters, and luckily, you were talking about John Frost earlier. John Frost came through town, came through York County back in the early mid-60s, and he wrote down everybody's name and most of the cemeteries in York County. And luckily, he had written down these 2 people, his mom and dad. Otherwise, we wouldn't know who they were, because there's like 3 letters left on those things.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, so hopefully, those 2, or at least one of them, will get a new stone. July, the MOCA workshop that you're going to, is that the end of July?
It's the end of July, but I'm working.
You are? Oh, no.
Yeah, because I had checked with Ken, and he said he wasn't going, or he was gonna go 1 or 2 days, and then he said he's going, and it was too late because I already agreed to work.
Okay. So MOCA's having another 4-day workshop up in Gray, right off of 95, the main exit over there. So when we cleaned up Remick the other day, Ken was saying, and Marcia too, they're both gonna be helpers on that workshop, which is good. So we've been trained by Joe from New York on how to do fixed stones and, some bigger stuff. And they've done a lot with him since. And just gonna be one of the, the worker bees up there helping out. It's huge, so. So that big cemetery up in Gray is, like I said, right off of 95. It's huge. It's like,
is big.
it's bigger than Maple Grove. they have a Civil War, quite a few Civil War soldiers, but there was a local boy, a lieutenant that got killed down south somewhere, and they sent his body back, and when he got back to Gray, Mom and Dad opened up the coffin just to see one last look, and the soldier's wearing gray. Yeah, I don't know the condition of the body, but he was not in a uniform of the Union. So somebody had sent a Confederate soldier.
They sent the wrong body?
They sent the wrong
Oh,
body.
my goodness.
So they don't know who this Confederate soldier is, but the townsfolk buried him, gave him honors as an American, I guess. And the ladies of town got a stone made for him, and every year they still put out a Confederate flag for him. And the one that was killed, that was supposed to be brought up back home, he eventually did make it. And he's
Good.
a little distance away.
At least it's
Yeah.
out.
A lot of soldiers, I'm sure you guys know, a lot of soldiers that were killed in the Civil War didn't come home because they couldn't transport them. You know, by the time they got back from down south. you
Or they
know,
were mutilated.
Yeah, so they were kind of nasty. So that's where a lot of these national cemeteries popped up from, so. We had one schedule, well, we had a couple scheduled cleanups already, both over at Remick. Turnout was a little lacking. It was right after the town meeting, and then we had another one a couple weeks ago, with more folks over there. Got a lot of work done, and that one's gonna still take a lot more time.
It is.
But it's getting there. At least
Yeah.
3 stones are up right now.
Thanks to Ken.
Yeah, yeah. On that note, so I have been in touch with the Grammy Rose people, the dog folks just down the road. So Linda is related to the Remicks. She's a Wentworth, and the Wentworth are related to the Remicks. So I've been in touch with her and her husband.
Is that the lady that was there that day we were talking?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So that
Wentworth is not her name now. She's,
Grigorek, I want to say. I will get you the spelling on that one. But yeah, they're interested in helping out, do something over there, whether, you know, get the granite stone, steps that we want to get, or something with the stone wall, or whatever it is. I know there's a couple of headstones over there that cannot be restored. They're just in awful shape.
Are we gonna get little stones for them?
I actually, I got a couple of quotes. This is jumping on to new business real quick. So full-size headstones. I know I'd mentioned one time, it's like maybe we can do granite ones, which will last a whole lot longer than marble. But then I was like, the marble would look good again, but then 100 years from now, someone's gonna be like, what idiot decided to put another marble stone in here? But anyway, the granite stone, roughly 2 foot by 4 foot by 2 inch thick, is a roughly $3,200. And we'd get like the same shape and font style and things like that. So that's a huge cost. I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Is there other material that would be more suited?
I don't know. I don't know how much the marble would be, and, you know, this is, if for some reason we got marble, this is not, you know, it's not gonna be ignored for the next 100 years. You know, and I don't know if there's any more acid rain, if that would be a thing, but.
it is, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, rain.
And you can't get the slate anymore.
I've seen new slates. I think there's one over in,
Maple Grove. It's a
Yeah, but-
retro looking,
Yeah.
in the new
The
area.
lifespan of a slate stone is only like 150.
Oh, no. There's,
It's like ones I thought they
Bracket, the
delaminated.
Bracket Cemetery has,
So it must
all
be a
kinds of
decent
slate
piece of
ones.
slate.
And that's, I've
'cause
got,
as long as they're
Before
not,
mowing.
as long as they don't tip up where the rain
Yeah.
can wear them away, they're in perfect condition.
yeah, there's 200-year-old slate stones in town.
Yeah.
That's good.
yeah,
And
I would
spanking
at least see about checking in, see if we can get a price on that, because that
Yeah.
32, not that I wouldn't want to do it,
Yeah.
but that's pretty high, that would eat up that.
They look nice.
Or we could, you know, possibly, because we still have the granite base that I dug up the other day on that one guy. The big chunks of him still left, the stone.
Chunks of
Big
it.
chunks of the stone, sorry. And maybe we just put one of those little granite ones that we've gotten before for 400 something bucks, and put that on top of the granite base with just the information. So that could be an option too. Or maybe if Linda, or we do, you know, some kind of drive, you know, fundraising thing to get a somewhat nicer stone or whatever it might be, so. That's it for, so I don't have any more cleanups scheduled just yet. I'd like to do one every weekend, but that ain't happening. Not officially anyway, so. So before the town meeting, I was talking with Jen and Kelly, the treasurer. We need a treasurer for us. You're not really moving any money around like with ashes and stuff. We just needed somebody to keep the books.
I can do that.
You can do that? Okay. I don't have I asked Kelly like last night or something, I think it was, for the current budgets for all of our accounts. I didn't get it back just yet, but I will.
Yeah, just get the paperwork and get it to me, and then I'll set up another file system.
Yeah. So the only time we ever spent any money was like last year with the trees, so anything over $1,000 has to get approved by the board or the selectmen.
When and if we get somebody else to do trees, though, I think they should cut the trees closer to the ground.
Yeah, we
That
will,
is a must, because that's ridiculous, him have to climb up on a stump to grind it down. That wasn't even,
yeah, we learned some things this year, and we won't be
yeah,
repeating
that's
some
one of the
those.
things we want to make sure.
Yes. Let's see here. So, yeah, so I'll be in touch with you as far as,
Yep.
so as far as expenses, the only expenses we've ever had before were any kind of like expenses that I ever had. And I would take the receipts. And so last year, whatever, it was just me. I was the chairman, so I didn't have to submit it to anybody else. But before that, if I had a receipt for whatever it is, I would have to give that to, Michelle, the old treasurer, and, Lois. Yeah, and, they'd approve it and I'd, get reimbursed for that expense. But, so, let's see here, full-size headstone quotes. Volunteers, we've lost some volunteers that took care of cemeteries before, like cutting grass and weed whacking and things like that. We definitely need some more. We've got a couple more this year already. Adam Brock lives, over there, I guess, and he's cutting the grass over at Acton Corner. I guess, so he's a landscaper, I think, or does that kind of stuff, but he's taken care of cemeteries before.
Okay, so he is, because I put him down in the notes, but I wasn't sure if
Yes,
he was
yeah.
actually already doing it.
Yep, so I got a hold of him and he was there, the other day, before we went on vacation. But yeah, we're definitely needing more volunteers. Cutting grass, weed whacking, raking, anything. We just need people.
It's too bad we couldn't get the people that are on the property to take care of them.
Some do, like you,
Yeah.
and then most don't. It's a lot of work, like I
It
cut,
is.
I cut one on Fox's Ridge, it's, smaller than this, right here, maybe 20 foot by 20 foot, whatever. It took, to do a good job, it took me like 2 hours. I mean, and the weeds were like as tall as me, and there's
No,
one.
that this is a bad summer, even mine looks like the Dickens.
So anybody out there, please, and if any high school students need volunteer hours, it counts. I signed, Wayne's daughter helped out at the thing, and I signed off.
Yeah, good.
For a 3-hour and 9-minute thing or whatever it was, so. Ken's not here, so Ken volunteered to be the point of contact for any kind of tree work that we're gonna get done next. So, I do have a couple more tree guys, names that I can give to him, and then we'll come up with where do we want to take trees down. We already got a quote, 2 or 3 quotes for the one right near Willie's. That's gonna be, if we do that one, that's like,
That's the one on 109? That's right,
correct.
yeah.
Yeah, across
That's got a
from,
lot of trees in it.
yeah, that's like a $5,000 job alone, because they have to,
If they're gonna have the cranes in there?
have to get a crane in
Yeah.
there. So
Are
that's,
are there lines on the other side of the road, though?
so there are lines that actually go through there to,
house.
Scott Mitchell's house, but those lines are long been defunct. But I
Okay.
think they're still there, so, but we could also look at the, CMP folks, they have an arborist, maybe they can take some trees down that are,
Yeah, and they
right on
just
the
came
road.
up through.
yeah, so. What else? So that's it for old and new business. I like, blast through this stuff quickly. Questions about any of that junk? All right, any new business, any, something brand new that we haven't come up with yet? Crickets? Yes.
I broke the tooth on my stump grinder, so I'm gonna look to see if I can upgrade that to something that's a little bit better and more aggressive.
So that's the one that actually just
Yeah, it's the teeth on it that grind the stump. When Tracy was helping me with one of them, I caught a stone. Normally I can chew through it, but I've had that same blade for a long time, so it finally chipped one of the teeth.
So is it a new blade you have to, just the blade you've gotta get?
Yeah, but they sell all kinds of different ones. I'm gonna see if there's something I can get that's more aggressive, if we gotta do the big ones. You know, it eats those little ones up quick.
Yeah.
But, I mean, but we've got a lot of big trees out there, so.
Is that something we would take care of, to get him a new blade? Yeah,
I gotta see what's going on and stuff, and
Yeah.
I'll take a look to make sure I can get other blades.
Yeah. Does anybody have a weed whacker that has one of those, like,
the real,
yeah, one of the blade on it?
yeah, no, I don't.
I thought yours did.
I think I have one at the house, actually.
Yeah, I thought it had like a double blade that you just replace the head that has the string with the head that has,
Yeah, if you can give me
Blade.
an idiot, you know, how to spell the whole
That would
thing.
be
Yeah, I
good
think
for
I got it. I
like
think-
brush.
If I have that, you can have it, because I don't use it.
Yeah,
That would be
there's
for
definitely
like
some,
brush,
yeah,
the
yeah,
heavier stuff.
Yeah.
definitely some, places that
But
we
yeah,
can
I'll
take
check
care
that. I think I got 2 or 3 extra weed whackers. The one I use now is battery operated, so.
of. Okay. How is that stuff? I mean, I got the little hand tools.
No, the Eco Glow, I bought that out of Lowe's. It's ultra light, it's all carbon fiber, and it's got 56-volt batteries. It lasts longer than a tank of gas.
Really?
Absolutely love it. So I have 3 batteries for it, so I just go all day with it when I do the ash building, so.
Nice. Yeah, we should, look into that. So, a couple other things. I think this was before we started. So we do have the MOCA account that the cemetery committee is a member of. We're gonna look into the account to see if we can come up with a username and password that everybody can have access to. So, yeah, just the York County cemeteries alone, there's over 3,000 pages worth of records in there. You know, so right here is like, this is just Acton right here, I don't know, 40, 50 pages, 52 pages. So you got times that by, however many towns, and, I mean, and Acton's small.
So that's all on a searchable database?
Yeah.
That's.
You can't download it though, because it's,
Oh, I get it, they're protecting it, but that's great though, if it's searchable.
I'm surprised they didn't make a book with it or something.
they might have some hard copy records somewhere, but I'm actually trying to find out from MOCA if we can update stuff, because the records that are in there, those 3,000 pages, that's probably hasn't been updated since the 60s for most of it. You know, and there's stuff that's just missing or wrong or whatever it might be, so,
Is it 3,000 pages of just cemeteries?
yeah, like this.
Okay.
Yeah, so like right here's Acton Corner Cemetery, it'll list Acton Corner Cemetery and all the names in there and stuff.
Yeah.
Up to the 60s or whatever, so.
Yes.
It's like that for every, so like with mine, the way I printed it out, you know, there's an Abbott Cemetery and the MOCA stuff would have its own page. And then Acton Corner would have its own page,
Okay,
or
yeah,
several pages or
yeah.
whatever, so I, combine them up to more than one cemetery.
Searchable.
Yeah, so, we're all gonna look at swearing in again, how we gotta get, come over here to town hall and have Jen have us raise our right hands again.
We don't have to do it all together and just kind of,
Yeah. And then Ken had met, because Ken's doing a lot of work with other committees around York County, just going to some other meetings, meeting some folks and making contacts that way. He met some lady who, what's this cataloging thing again? Refresh my memory.
Ancient burial ground, cataloging, and I guess,
yeah, because I
How to
just
do it
sent him something
properly.
on mapping that I had seen on
Mapping.
Facebook.
Okay, yeah.
I had sent him that link. I don't know whether he was aware of it.
So there's other ways for us to save our data for us and for future generations too, that, as opposed to like, oh, I got some.
Speaking on that, I talked with our neighbor, he's feeling better, so he's the one who has drone obsession.
Yes, yes.
So what he was thinking we might also be able to do is go over each cemetery, do an aerial view shot of it, and then he can mark it with a GPS exactly over each one, and then we could overlay that, so we had a aerial map with all the graves and so forth, and start cataloging.
That would be awesome.
getting everything done, and then we can use it to actually search if there's areas that you're looking for, because now we're searching, looking down at the terrain. So,
I saw some recent postings on Facebook for the MOCA page, and there were some people that got in there with some GPS or GPRs, and they're, oh yeah, we found this and that and the other thing. I'm like, yeah, nobody's near us, you know, they're up
Yeah.
wherever else, but it's like, yeah, it's a lot more people are starting to use some, you know, high-speed technology to,
yeah, and I'm currently working with him, because I'm looking at buying right now the small version of the LiDAR. So I'm looking to get the least expensive version we can get that we can use on the ground to start with. And then we've been looking at sites where you can do it with aerial. Of course, one is like $500, and the aerial with the drone is 25,000. So
Yeah.
we'll start off small and work up to the big.
do a collection of cans and things like that. That's it for meeting notes and.
I have one last thing.
You got one more thing?
One
Yes.
more thing. So, the Acton website is supposed to be upgraded.
Okay,
And according to Jennifer, we should be receiving an email regarding, training, or at least, information on how to update our website page,
yeah. Are
because
you
our
the-
page is,
are you the webmaster?
well, I'm the page master.
Page master, yeah.
Not the webmaster.
Yeah, that'd be great, because, yeah, there's people that just, you know, try to find stuff on their
I
own.
haven't seen anything from her, so if you see something, just forward that on to me so that I can either get the information or contact the person that's doing the updating of the website.
And I know, you know, a while back when Michelle's niece, I think, was working on the map, we wanted to have that on that.
Yep.
On there, and if you clicked on a certain cemetery on the map, it would punch up all that information.
Well, that's what I'm saying, I wanna make it interactive somehow, and then, even if we have to look at purchasing a program to do it, but once we have it, and we have the technology, and we have the information to feed, we should be able to make something that's substantial.
Yeah, if we do that, I would
Yeah.
give it to the webmaster of the town's website. I wouldn't even,
Yeah, and if we have any computer folks out there that wanna be our page master, and
Please help.
please help, yeah, there's a bunch of people over here.
Is Todd
trying to figure it
familiar
out.
with any of that stuff?
Todd?
Grant?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Well, he was saying he was looking stuff up and doing stuff with a computer last year for something. I don't remember what it was, though.
Right. Well,
Veterans, it was for the veterans.
yeah, because he's on the Ancestry site, so he
Oh,
does
okay.
the Ancestry stuff.
All right, anything else? That it? That good? All right, next meeting.
September.
Yeah, because I work for a college. September is an awful time because I'm away in college.
September isn't a good time, you're saying?
Maybe, I'm usually away.
You're away anyhow.
I'm away anyhow, yeah. But like maybe the Monday after Labor Day, if I can work my
It
stupid,
might be an Ashes meeting.
okay?
I'll do it the following one then.
The following one might be,
The 11th, so September 4th is
is Labor Day.
Labor Day.
Okay,
September
so
11th,
September 11th would be our regular meeting, and then we have a meeting, program.
Oh, that's right.
That's David
Wanna go in
Mann's
October?
program.
okay.
We'll go in October then.
October 2. Well, let's come up with a day. Right now, October 2, I have nothing going on.
That's the first Monday, Ashes meeting.
That's first Monday there. Geez, I should be part of Ashes,
It's
right?
crazy. It's crazy.
How about October 9? Right now, I have nothing going on for October 9.
Well, pencil yourself in
I'm
there.
gonna pencil myself in.
October. And don't change it on us.
Yeah, I can't promise anything.
I know.
6 o'clock here,
Yes.
October 9. I'll double check with Jen, you know, make sure no one else has this booked
Yeah.
up or whatever, so. You all good?
Good.
Thank you.